Hey guys, it's Mad Rabbit back in Flamebroil once again. Yes, and I finally hit level 58, went to Outlands. I'm actually at level 60 right... I can't remember if it was right now or before this video. Oh, well, either way, doesn't matter. Today, because I got all this great stuff now, level 58, go to Outlands, get better equipment. Obviously, you see here I assigned the rest of my points into those talents you see there. Just switch to high definition and full screen if you can't read it. I do all my episodes in that. I'm still trying to debate which glyph to get. I know some of the cookie cutter specs had certain ones, and the ones on my server are extremely expensive. I might be able to afford the extremely expensive one, but I didn't really want to spend the money on it until I wasn't sure. So I just showed you those really quickly. And as you see, I got my flying mount, so at least I can fly now, which is a big threshold moment for me. Yay! To me, it's probably better than hitting the level cap. So this is about the peak of the show, or at least about as peak as you're going to get for Flamebroil. Because now that I can fly, I'm happy. So we're going to queue for a dungeon today. I know I said I wasn't going to do too many dungeons anymore, or any, but honestly, Outland stinks, as usual. And I'm going to just basically just try and do mainly dungeon runs all the way from 60 on to 68 till I get to the Lich King stuff. I guess I'm gonna do some questing, not a whole lot though. So most of the videos you're gonna see are gonna be me maybe just doing a few dungeon runs between now and the next expansion. Mainly just because I am not a big fan of the grinding going all the way out to Outlands and stuff. It's just, I don't know. To me, it feels like a hassle now. I know we talked about this before. Like some people are saying, why don't we just do away with Outlands? Since I mean, you're there for like not even hardly 10 levels, and I mean you can almost get away with just doing some stuff in the classic content, and you know. I don't know. I still debate that whether that would be the right decision for Blizzard to do or not. But I don't know. Honestly, I think you sort of have to keep it there now. It'd be too much of a pain in the butt to revamp everything. So in all likelihood, I'm just you have to go through and you have to deal with Outlands. Sadly. So as you see here, I just sort of did a speed run through this. And I did pretty good DPS wise. I'm improving. I have to assume it's some of those talents that I picked that were, if you go back earlier in this episode that I showed you, that were one level up from the newest one. So I don't know which ones they are. I'm assuming they're helping with the DPS a little bit, because you see I will sort of start getting hasted a little bit when you're doing chain lightning in these groups. And that's all I really am spamming here is chain lightning, and when you have to switch over to single target combat, just your typical rotation of the the three things. So I'm doing pretty good. I'm actually not the bottom of the barrel in DPS anymore, and I did 4 runs of this is Ramparts, yeah, Hellfire Ramparts. So, and I've pretty much not been the bottom of the barrel each time. I got a feeling 1 or 2 of the guys that were at the bottom, they were just auto attacking and not paying attention to what they were doing. I really have to believe that, because some of them were really low. I think I'm seeing a lot of people do that lately. Like they just not even trying. They go in there, they let everyone else carry them, and they'll just almost sort of just auto attack and just take a nap or something. I don't know what they're doing. And they go AFK a lot during it, so they're obviously just not even playing the dungeon. They just want to get carried. And a lot of people just won't pay attention to that, To me, I'd kick them if they were like really were doing AFK a lot and they just weren't doing nothing. I mean, it's just I'm fully expected to do my role, and everyone else is too. Doesn't matter if you're DPS or not, But at any rate, this was pretty uneventful, this run. We had 4 runs, and I had 2 with this tank, and I think I had 2 more with a different tank. That was I think it was a Death Knight. But I do notice some things, not just with this one, but I think this one was a warrior, if I remember right. I can't remember which one I filmed now. But either way, it's I'm noticing a lot of tanks like they'll gather up the group around them, and then they won't bring in the casters. They really should be targeting on the casters, particularly the Death Knights that can, death grip, and you know what I mean. There's really no excuse for it. I don't know enough about warrior tanking to know, but Death Knights really don't have an excuse. I've tanked as a Death Knight before, plenty of times, so there's no excuse for that to me. I don't know why they just. So as you see here, there's a few parts in here where I'm actually getting some of the aggro, and I'm not really from some of the casters that I'm not even targeted on that are on the outskirts. You'll see that a lot in here. So, and in some of the other runs I did, which obviously I didn't tape, but that's just the way it is. I don't know. I guess tanks just don't pay attention too much. This one and the other one were trying to power through it as quickly as possible, pulling the next group before the first group was finished, that kind of thing, which is good sometimes. Like if you don't have quests going on, or you just want to get through it quickly. But I don't know. Sometimes I like that, sometimes I don't. I guess if I was a weak healer or something, I would not like it. I don't heal too much, obviously. In fact, I don't think I've ever healed. But we were lacking a healer in the second run with this. I think this warrior, and I did try and heal a little bit. I did okay, probably because obviously I'm not equipped for healing with this guy. But I did okay, just using one heal on the tank, and that was it. I kept up, but it's not something I enjoy. It seemed kind of boring too. I think it's just healing to me is just not exciting. I know some healers would say, "Oh, well, it's actually pretty complicated," and I guess maybe when you're at the higher level content where stuff is a little harder, maybe it is. I just, to me, I don't have a desire to do it at all ever. I just don't know why. You get blamed for too much, for one thing, and so my heart goes out to the healer. Sometimes I try and blame the DPS or the tank rather than blame the healer, because it is a thankless kind of job, sometimes. But I've noticed a lot of runs where tanks have gone, "Oh, great job healing," so they notice, and I've noticed too on occasion when I've tanked. So it's sometimes like when you have a weak group, you try and figure out who's really at fault here. Is it the tank or the DPS, or is the healer? Usually you gravitate towards the healer or the tank, but it's not always the case with that. Sometimes it is the DPS, and they're just draining the healer because they're doing stupidly or whatever. And so honestly, folks, I have not been playing too much World of Warcraft. Playing with a friend here or there once in a blue moon on here, leveling a druid on a different server, and really I've been debating whether or not the only reason I can really keep going with Flamebroil is mainly because the Mists of Pandaria changes for this particular class are going to be kind of interesting. At least the current builds of the Elemental Shaman they're looking like they're going to be pretty good. So that's sort of the only reason I'm keeping going with this. I'm stuck in this anyway until the annual pass runs out, and I think mine runs out in October. And I'm interested in seeing some of the Mists of Pandaria content, but I'm really seriously debating whether I'll stay with this game maybe after 2 or 3 months after the launch of the game, of the next expansion. I really am, and if I leave WoW, it won't be any more MMOs for me if I do that. I can't see playing this game without real life people that I know that are playing. They used to play it. If they came back and I was with them, and sometimes they express an interest, sometimes they don't. So I just assume that I'll be always playing this game mostly alone or with people that really you don't know them, and I don't have a problem with them. It's just to me, I don't know. I have to know the person in real life sometimes. I know it's from an older generation. Like, you really have to know the people. A lot of people on the internet, they just seem to. I think this newer generation, things are just different. They're more willing to be friends with people that they don't know. But me, I'm 40. I guess I just grew up during an era where you played cooperatively in front of the couch with a buddy down the road, and I'm just so used to that it's just, to me, this is a foreign concept. MMOs and just anything like that in general. So I guess it's just a hang up that I have. So, successful run. As you see here, after the second run I hit 61, and I assigned my next talent point, and those are those two I'm pointing to. that I'm gonna go with next. The other talent I won't be selecting, and that's it. So I will hopefully have another dungeon run soon, and that's it. It's a matter of signing off. Catch you next time, folks. Adios.